Azeroth on fire. Is it really on fire? Shit. Do you have both bindings already? No, I don't. I only have one. Okay, I'll take a look at this.
Over 250 hours ago, I set out to do one thing and one thing only. Play WoW Classic to a point where I'd have fair grounds on which to review the game. A feat that eludes me to this very day. Personally,
trust me, there are people who think that I can't review the game and I've played it for 15 years. So that's what he gets.
I'd argue that at the very least I'd have to reach the max level and kill the final boss. I think that's a strong case for a bare minimum. So how exactly did I end up losing all my gold in an Ironforge gambling ring after being roped into a terrible race war?
Wait, what?
Well, today's tragic tale starts with the release of Phase 2.
Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? Yep. Phase 2,
One
boys.
simple change. Killing other players now grants you honor points.
How about
the
that?
higher your honor rank, the better the rewards. As a new player, I assumed that was just a minor patch and nothing to really worry about.
Yeah, who cares?
Yet I logged on to see Azeroth on fire.
Yep.
The entire beautiful world they'd built, completely ruined. That's not my opinion either, just objectively.
That is a
Here's
fact.
An example. I want to go questing in Western Plaguelands.
You're dead.
After dying a moderate amount of times, I finally managed to complete one single quest. Then on the way to the NPC, I die a couple more times. No big
Look at
deal.
them all. They're all
Except,
running him down. He's like level fucking
they have
20.
now killed the guy who gave me the quest. Alright. This
Oh
is
my
no good.
God.
We'll have to fly away. Except they killed the flight master.
Duh. Hey, duh,
This forces
dude.
us to actually experience what the WoW community calls the meaningful journey.
That's
Whilst
right.
I do enjoy the part where you're riding through breathtaking areas that clearly stood the test of time, and
Yep.
even 15 years after its release, still manages to captivate the player, and coupled with the legendary music, immerse them into this beautiful world. 2% of the time, I don't enjoy 98% of the time, where you want to get into Blackrock Depths, but
You're
now
dead.
they don't just kill the Flight Master, they'll also camp the actual Spirit Healer and indefinitely kill you, forcing you to log off and come back at 4 AM to have some shot at returning to Ironforge like a pussy. Or you could do what I did.
Oh my
We'll
god.
get to that later. Perhaps you want to go to
Every
Kalimdor.
fucking server, man,
Tough
is
shit,
like this.
homie,
This is
because
incredible.
you'll run into a field
Wow.
platoon of Horn players who all claim that they're the captain now, forcing you to take the much more inefficient route by sailing to Darkshore.
Ooh.
Now, you could get a free teleport to Tenaris once every 6 hours as an artisan engineer, but
That's true.
that would leave your endearing, primal, aggressive, top-shelf certified, 5-star banging WoW GF on her own with all these Horde players. And speaking of Amiri, she remains an absolute animal at this game. Not just has she been sending me care packages, not just does she literally
What the
come
fuck?
out of nowhere when I'm about to be killed without having communicated to me
God.
in any way that she was going where I was,
And she just
or
killed-
how long she'd been stealth near me.
God damn. Dude, she's popping
She also
off.
got her enchanting to 300
It must
just
be
to
a she.
enchant all my gear. She's perfect. But enough about
Wow.
my e-dating. Let's get back to my
Yeah, this guy's a
e-misery.
god.
With the world gone awry, a regular PvP server can in a single day turn into an RP nightmare hellscape. The Horde
It
were
sure
locking
can.
us out of progressing through the endgame content, and it was showing in the cities. This guy in Ironforge was apparently the new king of the Alliance. Everyone followed him in a train and started spreading lies about how he gave gold to everyone following him. It was in the midst of this
Giving
chaos
gold to everyone
that I
following
seized the
him.
moment and rose to the occasion.
God,
I
dude.
started advertising in the trade chat, pretty
Two
much
night elf
begging for
sluts.
higher level players to carry me through a dungeon I hadn't yet
Wait a
tried.
second.
Opera
Wait a
Black
second. I've got to
trained
read
and
this.
Started spreading lies about how he gave
I
gold
wanna
to
read his
everyone
message.
following him. It was in the midst of this chaos that I seized the moment and rose to the occasion. I started.
Two hot night elf sluts looking for someone to gloriously carry us through lower or upper Blackrock Spire. Hit me up. Whatever. We're DTF. What does DTF mean? Is that Dallas Fort Worth? Let me see. I think that's Dallas Fort Worth. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I gotta take a piss. second. Be right back. All right, we're good? We're good. DTF equals down to fuck. Wait, what the oh, no. That's disgusting. What a bunch of sluts.
Advertising in the trade chat, pretty much begging for higher level players to carry me through a dungeon
Disgusting.
I hadn't yet tried. Upper Blackrock Spire, which is technically a small raid, designed to be completed by 10 players rather than 5.
Yes.
Any seasoned WoW player will know that at level 53, you're absolutely not up to the task.
Yeah,
but
you are, of course.
I was an unknowing fool. When Rurik approached me, I said, "Say not a word. I can sense why you have come. You have come to carry me through Blackrock
Guys, gear
Spire."
sucks.
Rurik laughed at me and proclaimed that he came to call me a milk boy and laugh at my res sickness. After 20 minutes of cringy role-playing, I gathered a full party for Upper Blackrock Spire. I actually had to join the train of lunatics for anyone to listen to me. I don't know how that works. But
That's
anyways,
right.
You gotta do what you gotta do to get to level 60.
Am I the only person that, like, I see this and it just makes me feel good to see this here? Because
join the
I'm
train
gonna
of
turn just
lunatics
like
for
so you
anyone
guys
to
get a
listen
better
to me.
picture here.
I don't know how.
See, look at all these guys, and like if they were just all at Thorium Point, they wouldn't have to worry about, like, if it doesn't make any sense to me the way the Alliance do this. Everybody is in fucking Ironforge, and they're complaining about nobody being out in the world because they can't quest, and they never go out in the world. It's like if you'd go out into the world, then you could be out in the world because there'd be enough of you guys out there. Like, oh my God. Like, and on my server, like, to be fair, all right, I do think that my server has like a bit of a horde lean, right? There are probably more people that are horde who are actively, you know, doing PvP or whatever. I do think that there is maybe a slight majority, but I do not in any way, shape, or form think it's 60-40 or anything like that. It is not 60-40 on Fairlena. And on my server, it's basically fine. But on some of these other servers, man, like, you gotta go out and fucking at least hold down a zone, man. At least hold down a fucking zone.
How that works. But anyways, you gotta do what you gotta do to get to level 60. After a handful of unavoidable deaths, and a few that could have been avoided had I gone the right way, I finally entered Upper Blackrock Spire. But not before Cybox insists that we remake the party with him as the leader. Like the psychopath control freak he is. You run into these people all the time in WoW.
Oh, it's probably
unlike
heroic,
the friendly people, these guys actually have their shit together. So I saw this as an absolute win-win-win. I entered the first room of mobs, and with my level 53 aggro range continued to immediately pull every single mob. All 10 of us get obliterated in probably the worst wipe I've ever caused. Then these level 60 psychos actually started domesticating me. They put me on the bench. They timed me out. My only privilege was watching them from afar whilst they cleared out the mobs. That is until we fought the beast, where I had the brilliant idea of helping my squad by using the Gnomish Shrink Ray, which has a tiny chance of backfiring. I think I got a Gnomish Shrink Ray, this guy. Oh, it worked. Oh, that's not what I was going for. I'm so sorry. No. We barely made it. The rest of the dungeon went pretty smooth. There were 2 worthwhile drops I could use from the dungeon. The Blade Master leggings that Amiri rolled 2 numbers higher than me for, after I accidentally didn't see her message telling me she really needs them, and the Brigham Girdle. When my trustworthy companion told me not to need on it,
is to not roll on belt. I have been trying to get it for a long time.
I knew it was a godly item, so you already know I yeeted that shit with a solid 95. Not gonna lie, it was mega boring to stand back and get carried without lifting a finger.
I mean, that's the thing, man. You're gonna make that dude sit through the whole fucking dungeon not being able to play, and then you're not gonna give him the loot? Man, he hadn't been able to do anything all dungeon. At least let him get the loot. I mean, isn't that what makes sense? Isn't that what makes sense, boys?
I don't know how Asmongold does it 8 hours a day, but there was one silver lining. I jumped on this.
I come back to stream and this is what I get. you know, like, take a few days off. First fucking WoW video I watched is roasting me less than 10 minutes into the fucking video, man. What a nut punch, man. Yeah, what a nut punch. You get the loot, though? Hey, that's true.
With a couple of these people, and they were actually pretty chill. They taught me something that would forever change how I play World of Warcraft.
What is it?
Death rolling. The AZEROTH
Fuck is
equivalent to playing dice. It's very simple. You bet gold against each other and you slash roll 10 times the amount you bet. Then your opponent rolled the number you got, and the first person to hit one loses. To begin with, I had misunderstood the rules because I am a fucking idiot. I rolled 100 on my first try and assumed that these guys were scammers when they
so they
didn't
gotta
give
give
me
you all the
any
money.
What went completely over my head, though, was Bob Gnarly running into unfathomable bad luck, hitting
Oh
a 1
my
in 330.
God.
That's rough, buddy.
Bob!
Once I properly understood the game,
Oh,
they
Bob.
told me tales of a secret gambling ring in Ironforge and one legend who was undisputedly the king of gambling. I had to know what this was all about.
Dude, should we start gambling? Should we start gambling on stream? I feel like this would be something really good for the kids. Because I know that I have there aren't really a lot of kids that watch my stream, but there's a few, and if I could just get them addicted to gambling, that will help me fulfill my, my ultimate goal of creating a casino in 5 years, and then it'll be called Teletubbies Casino, and it'll be tailored towards 8-year-olds. It'll be the first children's casino ever. I wonder why nobody's done that, man. Has anybody ever done a children's casino? Oh yeah, actually they have. It's called Chuck E. Cheese.
I went to Ironforge
and Pokemon booster packs.
This was the first time I would meet Compound, who I'd describe as a man with
and
a
EA, I forgot
severe
about that
problem. He'd been standing right here several hours a day for nearly 2 weeks, and his name preceded him for a very good reason. If you were confirmed to be an honorable gambler who pays up, he would take you up on any bet, any amount of times.
Wow.
And he'd cleaned out countless people. To show you guys that I didn't fake what you're about to see, I'm gonna walk you through every single bet I made, but just be warned, this isn't happy hour. I'm not fucking around. I'm goddamn serious. I start out with 115 gold.
That's
and
Mom's
then
spaghetti in the
immediately
background.
Cut this whole part out of the script because I wrote way too much.
Yeah.
All you need to know is I was down to a fraction of my starting bankroll and decided to put it on the line. 33 gold, 0 silver, and 79 copper. Who wants to go the distance?
He's going all in.
Up on the offer.
Easy gold.
I roll a 1, after which I painstakingly give away all my wealth. I had nothing left.
That was a little
Not for
anticlimactic.
one thing. This
Just happened
is
immediately.
where I started rising to glory. I'm
my
goddamn
God.
serious here. Tony had rolled a 4, and I'd somehow missed it and rolled a 3. These people, myself included, were absolutely goddamn serious about the rules. So we redid the roll. I landed on
he
a
fucked
3,
up. See, I don't
he
know the
lands on
rules,
a
so I
3.
fucked up too.
I land on a 2, and boom, there it is.
Ooh.
And you know me. I had but one
dude,
thing
he
to
just
say.
doubled his fucking money.
66 gold.
Yo, dude, it's
1
not gambling,
silver,
it's investing.
58 copper.
And the market's
Who
hot.
wants to go the distance? Tonus takes me for a dim-witted casual and rolls 1 in 36. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We won it all back.
Oh,
The legend
fuck you,
of the gambler
Tonus.
who actually chased his losses
Fuck
successfully.
you, Tonus.
But there's no reason to stop when you're on a roll. So it was time for some big dick bets. Me and
Big
Tonus
dick.
went in for the big bucks with a
All
100
right.
gold death roll. I roll 719, and by some unholy curse, Tonus rolls a 5. I bring it down to 3. Then I saw the 2 and I knew it was all over. Tonus rinses me for 100 gold. Now we're down to 26. I immediately went all in against Dr. Zeta. On a 420 roll, I start us on a 6.
That's not good at all.
Menacing.
That is
but
not
as
good at
terrifying
all.
As the 2 that Dr. Zeta puts down. Like a primal animal, I run it back and lock out on the 50-50, after which Zeta fails that same coin flip. He even
Get
added
fucked.
an extra gold in the trade.
Get
Now
fucked.
that's sportsmanship. But when you think about it, I just spent an hour and a half just to bankrupt myself. It's really not a good look.
Wait, so
Anyways, I lose 20 to Zeta, and this is where Compound gets overconfident. He
wait a minute. This is better. This is better than farming gold. This is how I should have farmed gold. I shouldn't have even asked for handouts. I'm actually a really good gambler. I know some people might not believe this, right? But I'm very good at gambling. Like, I should just do this. Like, that's what I should do on my stream, man, is just do fucking gambling. And that's it. Yeah, No, I am. Do you remember back whenever we did the rolls for the gold back on another Horde server and I made like 250,000 gold? Remember that? I do, because I felt really good about that. I even told my mom. And I was like, this is how I like to gamble. And I will do that, okay, man? That's all there is to it. Gambling with your dental health? No, that's not gambling. That's like rolling a death roll that goes 1-to-1.
See, he wanted to
Not
be
a
the one to
gamble.
clean me out. He put his 66 gold against my 33, an offer I simply could not refuse. He rolls a 5.
Ooh.
I roll a 4.
Ooh.
And he rolls a 1.
Oh, fuck you,
Back at 100
idiot.
gold.
Fuck
5
you,
to Codex,
stupid
And then we
idiot.
take a portal to Darnassus for a change in scenery.
Okay.
I roll for 50 with Zeta. I win 50 gold from
This is
Zeta.
awesome.
I lose 25 to Tonus and decided to quit while I was ahead and go do Blackrock Mountain with some of the people I was gambling with, which I'll tell you about in due time. But here's what happened when I inevitably continued death rolling for gold. I win 10 gold against Codex.
Okay.
He bumps it up to 20 and I tell him to make it 25.
Fuck,
In
man.
3 rolls, that
This
one
kid's
was a
getting- this
quickie.
thing's getting
We
people
go for
addicted to
15,
gambling.
and
I
this
love
simply
this.
wasn't
This is
Codex
great.
day. I hit a 2 on his 2, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Now
Oh.
we're resting nicely at 170. I lose 20 to Ari, after which I lose 20 to CJ on his first death roll after I just taught him the game. That's how
You see, you should just like shouldn't have given him the money. Be like, that's not how the game works, because he doesn't know the rules at that point. So you could still not give him the money and it'd be okay. So listen, I actually really want to do this. Like, I haven't done gambling for a long. I actually think, I unironically think gambling is good stream content. It's just that whenever you're doing it with real money, I feel like that's whenever it's kind of bad, because it's like, you know, people get addicted, etc. But yeah, that's the only way that I'm okay. Gambling is all about manipulating the rules. Well, of course it is. Like any good gambler, like, so the way that I gamble is if I have like $100,000, right? I will not gamble. I'll make $150,000, and then I'll put, as soon as I can make my money back, then I'll only gamble the $50,000 that I won, and never gamble my initial money. You know, and that's the secret, is you can never go into the negative. You can only go back down to 0. Yeah, that's the no. Yeah, you know when to hold them, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. That's the way it is. Yeah, basics. That's basic economics.
depraved I am. The usual gambling clique had left, and I actually had to rope other people into it to keep gambling.
Yeah.
I win 24 gold over Codex with a bit of nutty luck. I win 50 from Codex. Codex wins 50 from me. Jupes comes in and drops 15. I grab 10
Yeah.
from Codex. Because I like a clean number, we roll for 11. Throw in another 10, that puts us at 180. I'm starting to think this is skill and not luck. Win 15 gold. Now it's time to go big. 50, he rolls a 5. I hit 4. He hits 4. I hit 3. He hits 2. I hit 2. He hits 2.
Oh,
Fucking damn it, I hit 1. After losing 50, I win 25.
That
After
sucks.
winning 25, I lose 25. Codex, the bastard, keeps
God
winning
damn.
these coin flips and takes another 20 from me.
Ooh.
Now I've spent 3 hours and I'm exactly where I started.
Yep.
So I said, fuck it. I'm
Welcome
all
to the
in.
casino.
The numbers got lower and lower until Jupes hit a 5.
Ooh.
I win the 80% RNG, and
Yep.
sadly, he couldn't muster the luck to win a 1 out of 3.
Suck on my
That's right,
fucking
bitch!
dick,
Dumb luck to
dude!
clean 250.
Ooh!
Take 25 from Codex.
That's
lose
money.
15 to El Hopos, and
That's
brutally
money
give up
right
60
there,
gold to
dude.
Not Meta, who it should be
So
noted
many
is
money.
Compound's alt. Another thing to note is that they came back to death roll at 4:30 in the morning. Compound and I
Yeah.
roll for 100 gold. We drop the 666 in the chat, after which I roll a 5.
Yeah.
Compound rolls a 3. Yours truly takes it down to a 2.
Oh.
Now we're in 50-50 territory. He actually puts a 2 down. I don't like that. I don't like the look of that at all. So what I do is I actually also put a 2 down, but then at the same time fart in his face.
Oh god.
And you already know what the fuck is up.
Fuck him,
300
dude.
gold. Kung Arthur loses
Fuck him,
25.
dude.
Z loses 40. Fiona drops 25, and finally Roxanne is my 5th win in a row.
Wait,
resting
what the
comfortably at 400
400
gold?
gold? This guy's a
30 gold
god.
roll, and I rolled for 50 with compound. He'd been death rolling.
This guy's a fucking, he's a fucking god. What the hell?
Starting to break him. When he lost this roll, he simply started fleeing. Naturally, I hunted him down and got my money. When some rogues then killed Jupes, I took it as a sign.
Oh, phase
and
2,
ended
by the
night
way.
at 420 gold.
Yeah.
A few days later, I returned at 2 a.m. The death-rolling hustlers were to be
swole.
found in their usual spot. But it
I
was
like how-
not a good night for
Dude, I just like how it's a fucking circle, man. Like, all the homeless fucking gambling drug addicts that are at the side of 7-Eleven trying to flip pennies against the goddamn building. And they're sitting there trying to gamble, like, free chili that they got from inside the building because they used up all their goddamn money. And it's the same thing in Ironforge with players, dude. It's like, there's something about gambling that's just fundamentally fucking degenerate. Like, there's a reason why Islam, I'm pretty sure, bans gambling. Like, they ban that shit. Like, nope, that's not gonna happen. And, I mean, listen, you're making these little circles like this. I mean, if this is real life, man, they'd be fucking all wearing hoodies with sunglasses, and it's dusk outside, so it's already dark, but they've still got their sunglasses on with the hood on, with their fucking money in their pocket, and they're smoking cigarettes, and it's just... it's a whole fucking thing, man. Gambling is just fundamentally degenerate. That's why it's funny to watch.
Compound. Over a 2-week period, he was down over 10,000 gold. He had emptied his main, and now he was on his alt, peddling away his last epic item, the Staff of Jordan. An absolutely incredible item with a 0.02% drop chance. After weeks of senseless death rolling, he was at the end of the road,
love it.
broken and defeated. I couldn't help but pity him in this fiendish state.
Wow.
He was truly at his lowest, attempting to sell his last treasured item just so he could have one last hit of dopamine before he'd go back to solo farming Hand of Justice for 15 gold per Angerforge kill.
God, just so he can make the money
back. If you don't
back.
play WoW and that's all blibbly blabbly to you, know that he would have to spend many
Hundreds of hours
of his life to even rebuild a fraction of what he once had. I saw this man on his knees at his most
And
vulnerable.
take him for all he's
And I
worth.
thought to myself,
Take it for all he's worth, man.
give him nothing, but take from him everything. The staff was selling on the auction house for 350 gold. Compound wanted to use it instead of gold to roll against someone. His friends simply couldn't bring themselves to do it to him. I knew I had all
Nobody
the
will
leverage.
gamble with him.
I told the broken man, I can settle on 160. All you would have to do is type /roll 1600.
Oh, music, dude. This is good. 13. Oh.
I tell these gentlemen, it's been a pleasure doing
no.
business with them. And if you thought I was done,
That
you
sucks,
haven't been
dude.
paying attention.
I like that
told
song.
you,
What song
I
is that?
don't
We need
fuck
to play a
around.
song real quick.
Compound starts taking gold out of his guild bank and racking up debt with his friends because he wants to win his staff back. I
Wow.
rolled him for 50, and whatever was left of
He's
his soul
going-
got sucked out when he oofed at 1 out of 27.
I feel like the best and the worst thing about classic WoW is the fact that you can create these fucking microcosms of a society that are so degenerate. I made this fucking response to Soda's tweet yesterday. Is like the degeneracy of classic WoW is part of what makes it special. Because in the real world, right, you have people that are normal, well-adjusted, working adults that are making decisions and changing and directing society and saying who gets to do what and what goes where and what's acceptable and what's not. But the difference in classic WoW is that it's the exact opposite. You have these degenerate, shut-in, basement-dwelling morons that are failing out of high school because they just can't stop playing the game. They're directing the way that you live your life in this game. And it's so degenerate and disgusting that it's like a window into the true nature of people. I think it's like a psychological thing, man. It's so awesome. I love it. I really, really do. How's your time off? It was great. I did nothing. Lyric announcements on Twitter. Okay, we're going to look at the Lyric announcement and the Tim the Tatman announcement and the Dr. Lupo announcement, everything like that after we finish the video, but I don't want to interrupt the video for us to look at the announcements. Okay, guys? WoW is a social experiment. I love it. That is the best part of the game and also the worst part, right? I think at a certain point it becomes overwhelming and there are negative aspects to it, but I think that the fact that people are able to do that is what makes it so special. That's what makes it so fucking special, man.
Bikika wants to avenge his friends, whose night I clearly ruined. And on a 1 to 18, I take 100 gold from this loser.
Ooh,
resting
fuck that bitch.
Pleasurably at 500
G.
I roll compound for another 50. Luck finally seems to be coming his way when he hits a fat 2.
Ooh.
Sadly for compound,
Ooh.
I'm a true legend of AZEROTH, and I rinse him for another 50. I went BRD and started death rolling there, because why play the dungeon when you can play real World of Warcraft? I managed to bring myself barely to 600 gold before my WoW GF actually fucking destroys me for 50. After which I go back to Ironforge.
Time for a new girlfriend, man. Get a divorce.
50 gold, I drop a 2. He drops a 2. I drop a 2, and it's easy as that, folks. He decides to raise the stakes to 100.
Pussy.
He drops a 2.
2!
Oh no! I absolutely rinse him like the primal fucking animal I am.
Oh my god! This guy is really good at gambling.
Gold. I lost a few smaller bets, setting me back to 676, and then a day later, whilst compound was down gambling to this mean dwarf named Shorty, I sell Shorty the Staff of Jordan for 260 gold.
Oh my god!
Right under compound's nose. And that's how you fund your epic mount level 55, bitch! 900 gold earned in less than 10 hours. Go home, Chinese gold farmers. I'm the goddamn king. I run this shit.
Yo, Frostodamus needs to watch this video.
Delusional. This is the only fun part of this boring ass game. I admit I felt a little bad when less than a minute later Compound asked if I still had his staff, but I made it up to him by rolling him for another 50.
Okay.
God, I love this game. To cut a very long story short, I would go on to death roll every single day instead of leveling for the next week. You may not know this about me, but I'm very, very impulsive. And I'll have you know that even within the constraints of the YouTube advertiser guidelines, you might get away with saying that I have allegedly many years of experience with respectively online slot machines and Texas Hold'em. And based on said imaginative experience, I would hypothetically know that the only winning move here is to stop playing.
So don't
I somehow ended up at 1600 gold. That's after buying bank space, all the 16 slot bags I wanted, getting my Crusader enchant, sending like 200 gold to my WoW GF just because I'm a pimp like that, leveling up all my skills, and paying compound to farm Hail of Justice for me for hours. After which I won all the money back I just paid. For a man like him, it never ends. He's simply in too deep. But there's still hope
my
for
god.
Me. You see, I have dreams, things I wish to do with my life. I'm not going to be a nobody role-playing dice for fake money in Ironforge. For the rest of my days, whilst my central nervous system grows ever less capable of regularly producing dopamine, I have to rise above it, get to level 60, buy my epic mount, clear Molten Core, get percentage hit gear, and respect to Fury Warrior so I can buy up the dual wield.
No, not two into that.
I have to slay countless Horde players, and finally make a PvP montage in 240p with copyrighted music. Then, and only then, can I truly become a legend of AZEROTH.
Absolutely.
So I don't got time for this shit. I got places to be and things to do. I'm quick on my feet, vicious, some would even call me nimble. And whilst we're on the subject of velocity, here's something quite interesting. Every race in WoW has exactly the same base move speed. Here's the myriad of things I did to change that. You remember when we did Alderman? That's when I started a quest chain that led me on a scavenger hunt across the world.
Oh,
I killed Grelborg the Miser in the Alterac Mountains.
I hate this
Then I went to Dustswallow Marsh to kill Dagon the Ravenous. And finally I journeyed to Stranglethorn Vale to kill Moog the Undying. At the level I was at, I described the process of soloing these elite mobs as trial and error. After bringing the Star of Zelia, the Hand of Dagon, and the Legacy Heart to Garrick Bone Grip in Ironforge, I do the final part of the quest. Forbidden Knowledge, which led me to Theldarin in the Badlands.
Oh, isn't this where you get the watch?
Grants me the Skull of Impending Doom, which is an offhand that sucks your life force in exchange for movement speed. In the Badlands, I also completed another quest, incorrectly named This Is Going to Be Hard.
Oh, yeah.
It was a very easy quest, which got me the nifty stopwatch, a trinket that increases my run speed by 40% for 10 seconds.
Fast.
Then I crafted the Gnomish Rocket Boots, got them enchanted with 8% extra movement speed.
Damn.
And as the cherry on top, I got my banging WoW GF to brew me some swiftness potions. Right after spending that good handful hours of my life was the very moment I found out that these movement speed bonuses, they don't stack. So I couldn't even do the move I'd worked so hard for. And even if I could, it dawns on me that I'm intensely untalented. Here's a great example. I jump down with a Skull of Impending Doom because I want to look like a swagged-on gliding fast with my parachute cape.
Of course.
I completely forget to re-equip my weapon. I don't question the fact that I'm only doing 3 damage, and to round out this masterpiece of a wipe, I also pop Retaliation whilst none of the mobs are attacking me. Nearing 300 hours of game time, and I'm still more often than not the sole reason why we fail miserably. With the Eastern Kingdoms engaging in a plethora of territorial land wars, I decided to switch continents and hope that the Horde were less prevalent in Kalimdor. I went to Tenaris and killed an unreasonable amount of Thistle Shrub Dew Collectors to get the Latent Dew Gland.
I only had to kill one.
Wowhead tells me it has a 13.65% drop chance, and there's literally no way that's true. We killed like 200. After it finally dropped, I decided to undertake the closest thing to self-harm World of Warcraft has to offer. A cross-continent escort mission. I walk Tuga all the way across Tenaris, only for him to be reunited with his wife, who's absolutely stuck up, tells him to go get food, and generally just starts bitching at her long-lost soulmate. Then, I turned in the
first thing I thought of. No wonder he was on the other side of Tenaris.
To complete this very special quest, I had to acquire a plant on the other side of the world. So I take my Hearthstone to Ironforge, travel to the hinterlands, and collect a mushroom from the bottom of a lake.
Of course.
Then I use my ultra-safe transporter to teleport to Tenaris, because absolutely fuck Menethil Harbor. Due to a minor malfunction, I'm turned into a troglodyte. Once the troglodycia wears off, I make Sprinkle turn this mushroom into violet powder, and she tells me,
"Oh, cocaine." That makes sense.
I take the violet mushroom powder to Marin Noggenfogger, and right as I turn in the quest for the Noggenfogger elixir, I hit level 53. At which point, I decided to start questing in Ungoro Crater.
Oh, he's gonna die.
You can actually jump straight in there from Tenaris if you have the parachute cape, which, as it turns out, doesn't work when you're mounted. Now, when performed correctly, the parachute cape will let you gracefully glide through the air, avoiding the certain death of a high-altitude fall.
Isn't he gonna die anyway?
Although if you do stress test your physique against the harsh perils of gravity, know that you can't recover your corpse, so enjoy 10 minutes of res sickness, fool. Another way to do it is to activate the cav a tad later, take a chunk of fall damage, and die to the Pterodax. And finally, here's the actual way to perform the trick. I calculated that with absolute maths and perfect precision. The joke's on me, though. I'll still have to wait for Emiri to corpse walk.
Yep.
I love World of Warcraft Classic, man.
Yo, that shit was gross.
Is thematically one of my favorite zones. It's this jungle in the
Where's
crater.
all the Horde?
It definitely feels secluded from the rest of the world, and the vibrant colors mixed with exotic ambience absolutely immerses you for several minutes at a time, until you're corpse camped by disgusting Horde players. I managed to finally escape them, only to have the worst questing experience of my life. I killed these tar lurkers that make you walk really slow. I picked up various glowing Konokai crystals, and then I rode all the way to 3 different pylons. There's always the usual, extremely rewarding drop rate quest that can take anywhere between 4 minutes and 2 hours.
More like 2 hours and 4 hours. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I remember, so I never completed the quest for the pylons because I didn't know the difference between east and west. Like, I didn't know the cardinal directions. So, like, as a kid, I could never find some of the pylons. I could just... Like, no, really, I was, like, 16. And, like, at 16, you don't know those kinds of things, man. Nobody fucking knows that. Who knows that? I mean, come on. Let's be real. Okay, the compass spelling ye. Well, here's the thing, guys, is that, I think that, like, Classic was really hard for me back then because I was just really stupid. Like, I didn't even know this about myself, but, like, back then, I was really dumb. Like, I did so many dumbass things. Like, I was a huge idiot.
I traveled to the middle of the Ungoro crater only to realize that was no place for a level 51 Alliance player in Phase 2. The only redeemable part of my time in Ungoro was when I leveled my guns by practicing on various innocent exotic animals. A brilliant idea suggested to me by my carnal, ruthless, fantastic World of Warcraft girlfriend.
Ooh.
The training actually came in handy 10 minutes later in this cave when I was frozen by a mage.
Fucking
the most
mage.
insecure class in WoW. He was
They
about
are.
to escape with a sliver of health when
Shoot
I
him.
pulled out the gat.
Hey. America, bitch. Fuck 'em.
And finally,
60
this is
honor,
the
how about
quest that broke me. I spent 10 minutes climbing the steep walls of the crater, determined to reach this bastard quest that seemed so out of the way, only to find out
It's
that
on you.
obviously it was in a cave and not up here. In retrospect, I suppose dropping out of high school might not have been an option or a choice, but rather just my path. Anyways, when I reached the quest marker
Yeah,
with
that's the way it
Blackbarn,
goes,
it
you
turns
know?
out that it's a mech gorilla escort mission. But you need a mithril casing to activate it. A third guy showed up named Flokia. He actually rinsed me, making me pay 3 fucking gold for a mithril casing. After which he immediately
That's
activated
money, dude.
the quest without me. At this very moment, I logged off World of Warcraft.
Probably a good
few
idea.
days later, I was in Stranglethorn Vale with Emiri. I went to make a cup of tea and set my character to follow Emiri. When I came back, I was in a house in Goldshire, ready to do whatever it is people do in Goldshire. I keep the guild tabard on. You already know I'm that guy.
Hey, you gotta be
authentic
repping all the
Blizzard
time.
experience craps out, I leveled my engineering to 265 and crafted a robot chicken that can be summoned
Oh, he
to
must be
slay
on
my
Flame
enemies.
Lash.
Maybe. The gnomish mind control cap, which as the name suggests, actually lets you mind control a humanoid target. Your results may vary. It never works.
Yeah, it does not.
And the gnomish cloaking device, which lets me stealth to escape certain death. Sometimes. I also acquired the goblin jumper
Not
cables, which
usually.
lets me shock motherfuckers back to life. Sometimes. I then went to Stormwind, where I met an annoying player named White Girl Uwu. She simply wouldn't stop bothering me, so I farted her in the face.
White girl Uwu?
She was pissed and wanted to duel me for my transgressions.
Oh.
We went outside Stormwind, I brought her down to size and defeated her using only my robot battle chicken, after which she took back everything she said. Having had my
What a
fair
dumb
share
bitch.
of questing, world PvP
What a
and
dumb
cringy
bitch.
roleplaying, I knew it was time for a real-ass dungeon.
She's getting beat
one
down
of the
by
realest
the
dungeons in
cock.
the game. Blackrock Depths is one of the best dungeons in World of Warcraft.
It is the
and
best
as much
dungeon.
as I would have loved to shit on the Circle Jerk,
Yeah.
this dungeon is the best thing of all time in the whole world.
It
you
is.
get in and you see there's a locked door. You need
Yeah.
a key. And it's genius game design. It makes you think, what's behind the door? It's replayable.
Look,
As much as I would
it's-
love to shit on that Circle Jerk,
It's
they're
really
actually
good.
right. It's a
Yeah, I
really
know.
fucking
I
good
know we are.
dungeon. It's fucking massive.
I know.
There's so
I know.
many different routes and runs you can do. Every section and boss is memorable. The loot is fucking incredible. It's not just standing and hitting. It's actually fucking difficult. And even I have to admit that its replayability is absolutely extensive. I'd go so far as to say that it's replaced Dead Mines as my favorite dungeon. Since
Good.
I've already ran it a dozen
Fucking
times,
good.
instead of showing you one single run, I'm going to show you clips from respectively the one perfect run I did with my guild and all the other terrible runs
are
I
in
did
tier
with
2.
various other people.
Yeah.
Then you'll see the
I bet
stark
that was a good run.
contrast between how it can be done and how it should be done.
Oh,
And get
wow.
this show on the road already. The video's already half an hour long. Jesus fucking Christ! You could start by going the wrong way and
So long,
dying
John.
on the other side of the lava where you can't possibly recover your corpse, but still walk all
Yeah.
the way just to find that out.
Yeah.
Then die again.
Uh-huh.
Eat the rest sickness and corpse walk about 20 deaths to finally
at 'em
jump
all,
down
dude.
in the right spot.
Look at them all.
Or, hear me out, you could go the right way instead
Oh,
of
yeah?
wasting your time.
Ooh,
Optimally
the
use
charge
and
to close the
intercept to get as
distance?
much distance as possible out of each corpse walk. Utilize
He's been
movement
watching
speed
my
and stealth
stream.
trinkets to effectively
Yeah.
enter the dungeon in under 10 minutes. You could die to the
Smart
first
guy.
pack of mobs you pull because you didn't wait for the patrol. Then at the last second activate the gnomish cloaking device and get fucked anyways because it's terrible and never works. You go through the walk of shame and then you pull all the mobs and die again. And you do that again.
Uh-huh.
Or you could take on a couple enemies at a time and chill out without worrying since
Yeah.
you're at the easiest part of the dungeon. Make it to the boss and tank him against the wall. No sweat. In fact, why even do this part when you could run something efficient? Go straight to Arena followed up by Angerforge. Great
Yeah.
loot distribution for everyone in your party and a shot at Hand of Justice. Speaking of Angerforge, yeah,
Ooh.
you can fuck that up too. I don't
sure
even
can.
know how we died in this
Wait,
room.
they didn't even-
I'm
they didn't pull
pretty
the
sure you're not
trash.
supposed to die in this
They
room.
just tried to jump
Top
down.
Retaliation. Wait. How did I even die there? No one knows.
No
but
one knows.
But I did die.
Surprise.
Or perform the lava skip. Why even fight all the trash
wow.
mobs that drop garbage loot? Swim through the lava.
Damn,
Look at my
these guys
health.
are smart.
Look at my health. Watch what I do here. Watch this line. Watch
You're
this line
dead.
I make.
You're dead.
Perfection.
You're
Fucking
dead.
frame
You're
perfect.
dead.
I told you. I run this shit. Jump
Wow.
down and aggro
That's
all
impressive.
the grim patrons. Our slightly underleveled party wipes and we walk a reasonable distance to get to play the game again. Then walk in the next room and get decimated, making us walk a moderate. Open the relic vault, get that fat loot, bitch. That's what it's all about. And right as we open
getting
this
money,
massive
dude.
gate, we appropriately discuss the
This shit
strategy
was
for
hard to
how
do.
exactly we're going
First
to
time
clear
I
one
did
of the
it.
most serious DPS checks in the game. Or
Oh, this is the bad group. You can tell by looking at them. Yeah, that's the bad group. Need mage.
anyways, at the end we kill Emperor Thorsan. BRD is a fucking phenomenal dungeon,
Little
and I'm
scoop.
definitely not done
Yeah.
running it. You know what I did say I was done with, though? Death rolling for gold. Which is why it should come as a shock to you that I returned to Ironforge with high-minded ambitions. I was just gonna go for maybe 1 or 2 small death rolls, just for fun, you know, before going to bed, just to chill out a little bit. However, I suppose you could say I made some poor bets and mismanaged my funds. Swak doesn't flinch. I'm determined to win it back. I roll most dope for 50, drop a 1 in
man.
5. I mean, shit
400
happens.
gold.
That's when he hit me with double or nothing. I tell him
No,
only
man.
if we roll for 100 this time. I almost immediately lose it in exactly the same
Oh
way
my
by dropping a
God,
1 in
dude.
5.
Oh my god.
That's 150 gold down the drain. Considering
This
that I
dude's
was
lost like
already
500
down
G.
400 gold, this wasn't an amount I could afford to lose. So I tell the man, double or nothing. I drop a cursed 4 and a 395, and let's be honest, this really wasn't my day. I somehow won it all back, and I took that
What,
as
really?
a sign to go
Oh,
for
wow.
a 500 gold death roll.
Don't know about that.
No, man.
This man's brain.
No, man. Like, that's not. That's no, no, dude. Oh, man.
And it was at this point in time that I underwent a
500
lapse in
gold.
judgment and went all in with my 900 gold. All or nothing. One final
No.
bet to end it all.
I gotta. Guys, listen. Listen, all you kids out there that are watching this. Only do this if I ask you to do this roll against me, okay? You gotta understand, man. They're gonna take you for all you got. You don't get into gambling, kids. don't get into gambling. All right, this dude is obviously a hustler, man. Yeah, he's a dwarf on the fucking Meccano Strider. He's a goddamn hustler. You gotta watch out for him. Ooh, 569, 29. Oh, 29, 27. Oh, that's not 27.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh!
Oh my god.
Oh my!
I don't care what these people think of me. Fuck this shit. See you guys later. And then I logged back in to say one thing. Wait.
Wait. Wait, dude.
All the 4.
Hey! Hey, dude, fuck that shit. Hey. Thug life, man. That's a straight fucking thug life right there. This music gets me into like thinking about stealing cars or some shit, you know? That's great. I love it. That was a good video. That was a good fucking video. The best part about that video was the gambling. That I thought that was the best part. That was the most wholesome part. 2 minutes of gameplay, 31 minutes of gambling your life away. Wow, that sounds like my stream, but we just haven't had the 2 minutes of gameplay yet. Why isn't the title called Gambling Addiction? Hereafter, before mauled. Ah, Jesus Christ. I mean, wow.